Hi there, I'm Jamie with The Real Fiery Arrow, and today we have a mystery reading. I really don't know what these readings are going to be about, but we have 4 piles from which you can pick from, okay? So choose your animal and we'll go ahead to the reading, okay? So first card that we have here is the hummingbird. Second pile, with the air element. And interestingly enough, I shuffled them and I got all 4 elements, which is very interesting. So we got the oyster with the water element, pile 2. We have the fire ant with the fire element with pile 3. And we have pile 4, the bear with the earth element. So we have the hummingbird air, we have the oyster with water, fire and fire, and the bear earth. Maybe this helps you select your pile. So now let's go ahead to the first pile here. I'm not gonna make this into a long video. We'll see what comes through. So the first card that we have here is forbidden. The second card that we have here is the 10 of Pentacles. The 9th house, the Hermit, 4 of Swords, which makes complete sense. The Moon also makes sense. And Inner Earth, you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. So right off the bat, pile number 1, what I'm seeing here is that basically you feel like you can't move, like you can't fly or you can't move. I feel like certain things are forbidden to you, like certain things for you are out of reach, and this is very disappointing. You have been in a period of your life where your focus has been on healing deep, deep wounds. And this is because we also have the Moon card, and we have the Hermit and the 4 of Swords. So I'm seeing here that you have really gone through a period of reflection. You have really gotten deep into your feelings. You're exploring spirituality potentially. Some of you may have been restricted in matters of education. I'm seeing that as well. Like you might have wanted to study something and it feels like something's coming in your way. And maybe it's not because you're not supposed to do this, whatever you want to study, if that's the case for you. But maybe it's to allow time for reflection. I'm sorry for the airplanes. I didn't know they were gonna... I live very close to an airport, so that happens. Yeah, so some things are just out of reach for you. And if that's education, maybe it's because you needed to have time to reflect on what you're feeling, what you want, what type of higher education you want to have. For others of you, you have dealt with family trauma. Maybe generational trauma as well, because the Moon also represents family here. And this time period has allowed you to really go deep into your wounds, to understand them, to heal them. I feel like there is childhood trauma involved for some of you. And this has been very difficult. I see also your money has been blocked. The second house comes to mind for some reason. I'm gonna roll the astro dice and see what comes through. 12th house, North Node, and Leo. Maybe some of you are creatives, okay? And you have struggled to believe in your gifts and your abilities as a creator, as an artist. You know, whatever that may be for you. I see a creative energy here that you haven't allowed to blossom, right? Because you've been dealing with trauma. You've been dealing with deep, deep wounds here. And you know what, though? This may feel very heavy for you, but what's gonna come after, look at this image. I feel like having gone through all this is the place that you'll arrive at. And maybe the door is closed right now with forbidden, but I feel like having done the serious healing here and accepting certain things, really getting in touch with your inner child. Inner child is coming through strongly, okay? Your inner child has been waiting for you to acknowledge it. And I feel like if you haven't done this work already, that's the reason you're blocked. That's the reason certain things are out of reach, okay? I feel like sweetness is missing out of your life. Something about honey. Honey, yeah, actual honey, you know? I feel like there is not enough sweetness in your life. I'm seeing here that whoever has picked this particular pile is meant to explore spirituality or psychology on a much, much deeper level. So once you do that, and I'm not saying that that ever stops, because really with spirituality and psychology alike, you can't really arrive. You never really arrive. You begin, and that's something you work on your entire life. And that's something that I had to accept early on. Now, whether that is through the help of a medical professional or you're doing this alone, this needs to be addressed. Your childhood, your inner child is trying to reach out to you. It's trying to get your attention. These things have been stagnant. These things have been left, unmanaged. These are things that have gone unhealed that you need to heal. Once you do, or once you're on that path of healing and your inner child has your attention and you understand what your inner child is trying to communicate to you, this is what is waiting for you, like a whole new world almost. And some of you might like Aladdin. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. I feel that's what you need. I feel like you want to fly away on a magic carpet, right? And you're just restricted right now. There's a lot of playfulness to you as well. Maybe you lost touch with it for a while. There's just this beautiful childlike energy that's coming through from you here. And I know dealing with childhood trauma and coming into contact with your inner child, especially when your inner child has been hurt, is very uncomfortable. It's not something we want to do naturally, you know? And I'm seeing here, though, that doing that is exactly what you're meant to do in this life. Get in touch with yourself, your truest identity, that child that was possibly abandoned, that child that was not heard, that child that wasn't believed, that child that was isolated, or singled out that child that was, different, too different to blend in. And as long as you're not doing this, you're not getting the healing and the rest of mind that you need. You need to rest your mind. You need to rest your inner being. And until you start returning to yourself, start learning how to self-soothe and cope with life's difficulties, you will be blocked. Certain things are going to be out of your reach. But I'm also seeing that there are dreams that you've had that you have not seen them manifest. And those dreams don't have to be in the back burner while you do this, but you can find a healthy balance between the two, This is going to be very beneficial for you. In fact, some of you actually may have a career around childhood trauma, that involves childhood trauma. Some of you may actually be able to help children, okay? Some of you may be able to help children with childhood trauma, children that are hurt in the developmental stages of their lives. There's something about children that's important here, okay? And also foreign travel, like travel to a distant place. That's what really you want to do. You want to travel to different places because it gives you a perspective. It deepens your spiritual grounding. It deepens your spiritual understanding. It helps you connect to yourself in a way that nothing else allows that. So being restricted in matters of movement or travel is very, very hard for you. And but I'm seeing here that what you must do is that which is uncomfortable. So ask yourself, what is it that is so uncomfortable for you to approach? Why is your inner child now calling you? Why, what makes approaching your inner child so difficult, so triggering? Because that's your first clue, And with the moon, I see serious, deep emotional wounds. Like you've been underwater. You see her? You've been underwater. Some of you may be struggling with depression. Some of you may have grown up around someone with depression or addiction. These are things that are coming up from your reading here. But I see that through this, you will be able to attain the life that you want. You will be able to access that which is for you. And seriously, consider what children mean to you. Children are really important in your reading and in your life, okay? Children, not only your inner child, but working with children, okay? Healing children. Something about healing children is very significant for you. So maybe your question coming in here was, what am I meant to do in my life? Which door should I open? What opportunity am I supposed to snatch, How am I going to create or accumulate wealth, Maybe some of you just really want to have the comfort you may not have had growing up. Some of you may have grown up in poverty. I do see that. I do see that for some of you, like not having shoes, that level of poverty. Trust me, I know what that's like, and that's not fun. So if that's you, a big hug and a lot of love sending your way. So you're gonna have to do what is very difficult, okay? And you're more than prepared to do it. If you're not ready to work with a professional, okay? just be careful and be mindful and understand that these things take time. You cannot skip steps here. So if you're unable to do it on your own, it's best to consult a professional. But for some of you, you've already done this work, okay? You've already done this work. You have been restricted. You have not had access to the kind of opportunities that you deserve and have wanted. And because of it, you are coming out of this stronger in even health, physical health as well, mental health. Your mental health is going to be solid, not solid meaning that you're not going to be versatile, you're not going to have an open heart, because we still, I believe, have to have an open heart overall. We can't raise a stone wall and pretend everything's okay. We can't just sweep it under the rug. Someone's got to do the work, and nobody can do it for you. So even if you do consult a therapist or a professional, whichever the case for you, the thing is, you still got to do the work. They're not going to do the work for you. You still have to be honest with yourself. And that does not happen in a linear way. That does not happen in a way that is predictable sometimes, okay? So it requires patience. It requires a really thick and strong core. And if you don't have that strong core right now, that's okay, because your inner child has been hurting, has been crying for your attention. But you will learn how to build that strong core within yourself, okay? So I'm going to read from the book what the card Forbidden wants to say for additional messages. And yeah, we'll end your reading here. By the way, I'm not sure if you know your chart, your astrological chart here, but it's worth taking a look at your astrological chart to see where your 12th house and your 9th house lands, okay? Because I feel that's really going to give you insight into what you're dealing with. And let me just say the 12th house is not an easy house to go through. It's not something that we just leap to, It's something that's really, really difficult and deep and dark at times. So, yeah, it's very hard. So be patient with yourself. It's not easy stuff. Forbidden. As your goddess, I am sending you this warning. You're about to enter into a situation that will not be easy and could cause you or others pain. Not all doorways are meant to be opened. Not all relationships are good for you. Not all love is expressed, and not all desires are realized. And here, I just don't want you to take it literally here, because what I'm understanding from here is that maybe the doorways that you were trying to open before were from another mindset. For those of you that have been doing the healing work, the inner child healing, maybe you hadn't done the work, so your obvious choice would have been something that the unhealed inner child would have chosen. But once you heal that, you see that you have other doors available, or other doors are better suited for you. And for some of you, you may be in a recurring pattern of relationships, whether that's with friendships or whether that's with, partners, romantic partners. You may be in recurring patterns of, toxic relationships, karmic relationships. And that's only because it's trying to bring your attention within. The symbol for forbidden also reminds you that although you may feel pain when someone rejects you, this is one of my ways of protecting you. I may whisper in someone's ear to stay away. It is for the best, even if you don't believe it right now. This is a symbol to move on and choose another path. So yeah, maybe the path that you wanted to go through, you wanted to walk on, wasn't accessible because that wasn't for you. okay? And also, you, hold on, for very specific few of you, you know, Leo may be here, the sign of Leo may be here because you may have been a little bit into your ego. You know, maybe you have been living life through the lens of your ego, which is inaccurate, okay? And I'm not trying to insult you here, but you know, sometimes we can't see clearly. Sometimes we cannot understand things clearly because we are in our own pain, we're in our own, you know, headspace where we can't really get clear understanding. So yeah, this is what I have for you. I hope this made sense. I hope this was helpful. If so, please let me know. Comment below. Find my link to my YouTube channel. I would really, really, really appreciate it if you would support me as I'm growing this beautiful community where I hope I can find like-minded individuals who like culture, who value individuality. I am the type of person that I like the unique people. I like the people that don't blend in. I like the people. I want to be there for the people who haven't had a voice. I want to be there for the people who have been ostracized, who have been ridiculed, who have been, you know, who are the scapegoats. That's who I am. Therefore, I would love to hear from people who have been overlooked, who have been, you know, struggling to find their place in the world. And hopefully what I'm creating is going to be that such an environment where we can all safely express and learn from one another. So I hope that's the case, and we'll see how it goes. So thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye. Hi there, Pile 2. I'm Jamie with the Real Fiery Arrow, and this is your reading. So welcome. So we have the Oyster card with the water element. We have the card of understanding. It's number 43. Also 7 might be significant for you. See how she's raising her hands up in the air? So beautiful, so ethereal. Some of you may be invoking. Some of you may be in a phase of your life where you feel like you want to devote yourself or honor the divine, like almost like a spiritual phase for you. For some of you, okay? Some of you may be into witchcraft and working with deities. We have Mercury here. Some of you may be writers. And some of you may be interested in the Akashic records. And I think this reading also might have to do something about family. You see how oh, I didn't show you this card. So we have this card, I'm sorry, defensive, I can't say it, forget it. Defenselessness, I don't know, it's so hard to say. Writing past wrongs and uprooting the word I'm sorry. And take a look at this. You can see the roots. I feel like something has changed when it comes to the matters of family. This is something to do with family. We also have the card Sensing, water element, which makes sense because we have the oyster. And we have the 10 of Cups. Then we have the 8 of Swords, the Page of Cups, so we have a lot of water here, and the Wheel of Fortune. I will roll the dice real quick, see if there are any additional messages. Okay, so 6th house, Sun, and Aquarius. Alright. I finished the previous pile saying that I want to be there for the people who haven't had a voice, who are the scapegoats, who are the ones who have been ostracized by their peers, community, family. I want to be there for the people who have been misunderstood or unheard. And this pile is for you, because what I'm seeing here is that you are not someone that is predictable. You're someone different from what your family is. You are, you know, your own kind of breed. And I feel that this period of time is very difficult because some of you may be accepting the fact that, you know, you no longer align with what your family believes in. This could be a spiritual thing because we have water as well. We have Mercury with the mind, and thoughts. I don't know, just right now just captured my attention. Thoughts. Some of you may be looking into, the Akashic records and trying to understand, why am I having these experiences? What karmic lessons am I learning here? Why do I feel so stuck? Why do I feel so different? Why am I the way I am, you know? And that's why we have the card of understanding. You're trying to understand, and you're asking questions, and you're going deep, okay? And you're doing things differently. I feel like your routine, your everyday life is not what really makes you happy here. You've been trying to change your life around, even drastically almost. You're definitely making a change, but there are things that are limiting your mind, okay? There are things that are limiting your mind. You're kind of afraid to take a step forward. Take a step forward into being who you are, into fully embracing who you are, because we have the sun here, and the sun talks about self. But I'm seeing here that you are analyzing a lot. Some of you are analyzing so much to a fault, but I'm seeing here that the analysis, along with Mercury and the mind here, you will be reaching some kind of understanding. The oyster always, when I look at the oyster, well, there are two things here. Like, the oyster is found, I think, deep into in the ocean, I think. If I'm correct, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Makes me feel like what you're looking into is really, really deep under the water, you know, deep into your subconscious, whatever you're asking about. You're asking about what's deep in your subconscious. That's why I said some of you might be looking into the Akashic records, or even records of your own, like even your own history, your own family's history, okay? And I'm seeing here that some of you are looking really deep into your life's story, into who you are spiritually and even physically here. You are the type of person that makes yourself, that blames yourself for other people's wrongdoing. Or there has been a period where you had to reflect and you feel like you have been brought down to your knees, if that makes sense. Something has happened in your life to trigger this investigation, this deep self-reflection, that there are still things that make you feel uncomfortable. And you feel uncomfortable because your path doesn't look like anybody else's. So maybe you don't have the kind of people around you that can help guide you through it, how to do it. There is a change going to happen in your life. And one thing that I'd like to say for those of you that are looking into spiritual aspects of your life, such as the Akashic Records, if that's what you believe in, this is going to bring about change that is very significant. This is the fact that you're asking questions is going to propel a series of events that you may not be prepared for. And yeah, I hear the words, who you are, who you are, who are you? Have you heard the song of Jessie J, Who You Are? Listen to that song. Oh, that song always brings me to tears. And yeah, you want to know who you are. For those of you that are not are not spiritual or religious, maybe this is about you, where you come from. Say you were adopted and you're trying to look into who you come from, where you come from. A few of you. And you're sensing things, but you're not trusting them because this particular path to you is very new, okay? This is not something you've been doing for too long. This is something new for you. You have come onto this path of self-analysis, of self-exploration and investigation recently. And that's why you feel like, am I making a mistake? Am I asking the right questions? Is this the right path? Is this the right way? Again, with Aquarius here, you're not someone you're not like your family. You're not like your family. You're different. And so that may make you feel like there's something wrong with you, but there's nothing wrong with you. You're supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to ask questions that lead to answers. Sometimes it leads to more questions and more questions that go unanswered. But even the absence of an answer is an answer. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. Your situation is complicated. Your situation is very complicated. You also feel very vulnerable as to what others see, what others perceive of you. You feel like others see something you don't. Maybe you exude something and you're unaware of what that is. Like, why do people react to me this way? Why do people treat me this way? Or why do I attract these type of people? There's a karmic, feel to this reading. There's a karmic feel to it. I feel like for those of you that are spiritually inclined, you have been reincarnated in this world from a previous life. Okay? So let's read from the book and see what the card has to say. This reading wasn't very easy to get into because, I don't know, your situation is complicated. It's not something that you can understand right away. It's something you may have been wondering your entire life, something you've been trying to solve your entire life, but now decided to actually do something about it. Instead of feeling like a victim of life, or instead of feeling like you have something to be sorry for. But life has really brought you down to your knees at times. has been very hurtful. You need to mind your health as well. That's what I'm hearing. You need to mind your health while you're exploring certain things. I don't know what that means for you. This is the symbol for deep and true comprehension. It is one thing to read something or to hear something, but it is another thing to truly understand something. You are being asked to keep an open mind and heart and to allow yourself to absorb information as you receive it. Some of you may have developed gifts recently, like say psychic gifts or clairvoyance, clairaudience, and that has really scared you. Be open to the wisdom that can only come with time, patience, and perspective. Try to get outside of yourself and imagine what it's like to walk in someone else's shoes. To understand is to have power. Okay, so some of you here may have been dealing with family patterns. You may have been angry at a caregiver, parent, and you have been judging them a little too harshly, and now something has happened in your life that made you understand them a little bit, and so now you dive deep into other things that you wouldn't have asked otherwise. Does that make any sense? Yeah. So definitely, whatever you're doing, trying to uncover who you are, trying to understand who you are, where you come from, don't stop. Continue. Whether that's trying to find adoption papers, finding your parents, whether that's getting into the Akashic records to understand where you were last, incarnated, or what karmic lessons you're learning in this life and why. Continue, because this is going to be fruitful, okay? And even if you do look at this, the Page of Cups, and then we have the Ten of Cups, that's where it leads to happiness. And if your own family is not the family that you feel safest at, then perhaps there is another family somewhere else. Maybe you're meant to find your tribe. Sorry, I just got a psychic message for something, and it was very uncomfortable. I didn't like what I felt just now, and I don't know what happened just there. All right, so this was a weird reading. I'm sorry. I'm still gonna upload it because some of you may actually find meaning in all this allegory here. So let me know if this resonated. I hope it did, and I hope it helps. So advice to you, pile 2, keep going. What you've started, there's a reason for it, okay? Don't sit and think what other people think about you. Their opinion doesn't matter, okay? If you're rocking the boat by asking questions, it's okay. Keep going. You have the right to know. You have the right to understand, all right? So as long as it's done safely without you coming into harm's way or anyone else, right? Okay, just saying that to make sure that I'm not giving ill advice. So thank you for watching. If you did like it, you can find my YouTube link below if you're watching on TikTok. And please subscribe to my channel. It would be huge help if you did. Yeah, that's all I have for you. Thank you. Hi there, Pile 3 with the fire ant. and the element of fire. We have the first card that we have here is the card of choices. Pluto, transformation. Wow, intense reading already. High-res, longing for home, homesick for the stars. The Eight of Pentacles, the Strength card, the Sun, and the Five of Wands. All right, wow. Also from the Astro Dice, we have Saturn, we have the first house, and Cancer. All right, so, wow, you're really exhausted, aren't you, Pile 3? You have been working so very, very hard here, like a fire ant, like an ant, They're really hard workers, and I feel that's you right now. You are very much exhausted of having to work this hard. You have had to be strong. And almost like, sometimes being strong for a long time can be really traumatic. Being strong for a long time may feel like abuse. Okay? So here I'm seeing that there's something in your circumstances. It's like almost like you can't get ahead. No matter what you do, you can't get ahead. You don't feel like you can be a part of your community. You don't feel like you have found your people. You have people around you that possibly gossip, combat you. And you know what? It's because not only are you strong, but you're bright. You have a light that nobody can compare to. You have a light that nobody can dim. You have been working on yourself. You have been working on something. You also, regarding your career, maybe you're at a point in your life and your career where you're wondering, is this worth the while? Am I supposed to stay in this job and not see anything happening, any growth happening? That's why I feel we have the card of choices. You're in a pivotal moment in your life where you have to make a choice what you want going forward, okay? What you want going forward. Also, throughout this, you have not only been patient, you have also been kind to people, even to the people that hurt you and judge you and try to push you around. You are also kind to those people, which is amazing, I'm seeing here that you're tired of working and perfecting the same thing without getting anything in result, getting anything from it. So what's come up now is the thought of, maybe I'm not meant to be doing this. Maybe I'm meant to be doing something else. So what am I meant to be doing? I feel that whatever you're meant to be doing, being represented by the fire ant, is something to do with teamwork, with a lot of people, like a community of people. Maybe a big company, maybe volunteer work, maybe something that, even though as an individual, you're just one of many, what you do will contribute to something better. I honestly don't know anything about fire ants, how they live, but I'm basing this off of what I know of ants. I think they pretty much live the same way. And they're just such hard workers. Maybe some of you do something with your hands. Maybe you're builders. Maybe there's something you do with your hands. Also, you're a very sweet personality, okay? You are there for people. You're very kind. You're very loving. You're very giving. But you also have to give to yourself. Okay, you have to also prioritize yourself. You have to find what makes you genuinely happy. So whatever change you're about to make, whether you're actually deliberately making this change or this change is coming for you, I'm seeing that it's gonna bring a lot of optimism here, okay? Pluto and transformation. Pluto is the planet that really talks about going deep within and growing from the harshest environments that we may find ourselves in, growing from the challenges and the conflicts. And I'm seeing here that you've had conflicts, that you had to be really strong. And while you were strong, you were also working on something. You were working on yourself, you were kind, you were trying to get ahead in your career. So all this will be rewarded. You should know that. So now, let's go ahead and read from the book what the card choices has to say. 46, number 46. I feel like you've come to a point where you feel like you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. That's what's coming through here. You long to be a part of a community, you know? Even it could be socially or it could be in the workplace. I feel like you want to be a part of a team here. And Saturn is emphasizing that you've been doing this and you've been disciplined and you've worked hard so far, and that's why you're gonna have a very optimistic opportunity. The change that's coming is good. It's not bad. It's not for the worse. It's not like you're gonna have to work just as hard or even harder to see a positive change. Every choice you make has a consequence. Even your thoughts are like magnets, drawing experiences to you for the good or for the bad. Do you know the story of a winged immortal in the House of Night who had to choose between dark and light? Do you know what he chose? Right now, you are faced with such a choice. All you need to do is ask, is this for my highest good? The choice you make will be an important step in your life lesson. Remember, even not deciding is a choice. What will it be? Choose another card to show you what your choice will bring you. So I'm gonna choose another card for you. One more card for you. So yeah, definitely you're at a crossroads right now. You're wondering, am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right environment? Am I in the right community? Am I in the right workplace? If so, why am I being confronted with this conflict? Why am I being conflicted? And I feel your thoughts around this, I feel like you're stuck in a Cancer mentality, where you feel like you have to be the one to do everything for others when you have to be there for yourself. You have to know, you have to sit and think, what is best for your highest good, you know? What is for your highest good? So we have the High Priestess of Water with number 4. Now let's see, number 4. Dear one, When my vampire high priestess of water visits you, it is to remind you that all things change. Like the powerful element she represents. Water is a transforming element that flows in rivers, makes waves in the vast ocean, turns to hard, cold ice, and disperses a hot stream. Water can change into snowflakes, white fluffy clouds, and rain. When you draw the symbol of water, it signifies a time when things in your life are changing shape right before your very eyes. Go with the flow, as these changes are powerful signs of wondrous experiences, lessons, and gifts. Even if you don't understand these changes at the moment, you will later. So some of the changes that are happening in your life are happening anyway, and without your control. But I'm seeing here that the result, despite these people over here, whatever this conflicting energy is, if it's people, peers, or just the opinion of others, I don't know how it applies to you, the change that's coming is positive. It will affect you in a physical way. It will affect your material life. It will also affect how you appear in the world, and it will affect the vision you have for yourself. And I'm seeing here again, you have been in a particular place for a very long time. You have been doing the same thing over and over again, not bearing the results that you hoped for, and suddenly you're here feeling like you haven't found your people, or you haven't found your community, or this isn't the environment I'm meant to be in. And I feel a lot of uncertainty here from you, a little pessimism as well, where, okay, so is this change, are these changes going to be good for me, or am I going to be stuck in a familiar pattern? You don't have to be stuck in a familiar pattern. You can get out, because what's coming is good. Some of you may need to hear that you need to take care of your body a little bit better. You need to take care of yourself. Focus on self-love. What is this symbol here? I just noticed this. I don't know what that is. Anyway, yes. So, are the changes happening in your life for good or for worse? They're for the better. And listen to your intuition. Get in touch with your feelings. We have Cancer here, and we have the water, the High Priestess of Water. Listen to your intuition. You don't have to break yourself apart for others. You don't have to self-sacrifice yourself. You first have to fill your own cup before you can pour it for anyone else. Okay, and maybe that's the case for you at work. Maybe you're the one person who does everything for other people, but when it comes time for you to need help, others don't cooperate with you the same way. So if you've come to a point in your life where you're wondering, am I in the right environment? Am I not? Listen to your intuition. Chances are the answer is no. You need to change your environment. You need to find the people you feel like you can be this fire ant with, where your hard work is appreciated, where you finally feel at home. Okay? And while these changes are happening, try to prepare yourself and your life for these things to come in and manifest in your life. Okay? Because as long as you're stuck in an old energy, doing the same thing over and over again, you won't be able to make room for the new opportunities. This opportunity, the optimistic opportunity, the good change. But good thing is that through all this that you've gone through, for however long that you've stayed in this environment, is that it made you resilient. Okay, you were disciplined, you were focused, you were responsible, and the changes that are coming when you have your new life in whatever environment you choose, you will be stronger because of it. So just remember that. Okay, so this was your reading, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful in even a small way. Don't try to force the message to resonate, okay? Only consult yourself first and foremost. And then if this resonates, then by all means, take it, own it, and believe it, okay? Because you can manifest anything. If you enjoyed it, you'll find my YouTube link below, okay, if you're watching on TikTok. Otherwise, please subscribe and let me know, what did you think? Did you enjoy this reading? Are there other readings you want to see in the future? Thank you. Have a good one. Bye. Hello, Pile 4. This is your reading. You have the bear with the earth element. From the Astro Dice, we have Uranus, Capricorn, and 3rd house. Ooh. Some of you may be public speakers. Some of you may have your voice, maybe your business, how you make your money. All right, let's see what the cards say. Hope. Have you heard the song Hope by NF? That's one of my favorite songs. If not, listen to it, because I think the song is actually gonna resonate with your reading. Hope. What's the meaning of success? Doing what your heart says. Yeah, I can't rap. I suck. But yeah, take a look at the song, Hope. And also the moon. Just take a look at the moon. That's such a beautiful card. Really. Sorry, my throat's a bit dry. Ooh, provoker. And we have Uranus. Oh, okay. If you're a public speaker, you might have a YouTube channel or something. You talk about things other people might not want to talk about, like politics, like corruption, things that really rattle the cage, rock the boat. Wow, you're very bold in the way you're speaking, okay? You're also reaching many people far and wide. You're reaching many people far and wide. With Sagittarius here. You're a daring individual. No one can stop you, really. You see something that's wrong, you say it. You don't keep your mouth shut. And you shouldn't. And there's something about, some of you may be talking about business, something about business. Maybe you're trying to create a new culture of how business is done. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, you're trying to change the business industry also, or some industry, and you're doing it in a bold and unapologetic way. So please, please, please listen to the song I mentioned. I will write it on the video or under the video. So please listen. I really do feel that there's a message in the song for you. Baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. Okay, for some of you, you're not there yet. You haven't created your audience yet. You haven't reached enough people, but what you have to say is very, very important. Many people need to hear what you have to say, whether that's your opinion or something that happened, or the way you present things to the world is significant. The other two piles didn't get two cards, but this one did. And so, yeah, trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So, wow, take a look at this landscape. It really does sort of look like the video clip of the song that I mentioned. Once you start speaking up and you say what you have to say, even though it's bold and daring and out there, and even if you get backlash, haters, judgment, other people challenging you, more people will come forward. More people will come and share your experience with you. You're going to build a community. I feel like I'm talking to content creators here, journalists or something. Knight of Swords. Yeah, you're very sharp with your words. Very, very sharp with your words. You do not bullshit around, okay? You are not bullshitting around. You say it as it is. You're sharp as a sword. And really, people need to hear what you have to say. So I feel for most of you, like 98% of you watching this video, you're in the starting stages of this. This is something new. This is something that in order to do it, it required a lot of guts to begin, okay? And you are in a new beginning. So trust the timing. Maybe things haven't happened for you yet, but you see those hands there? You've got something everybody wants. You have something to say that everybody needs to hear. Again, the Knight of Swords. Wow. Things are going to move fast for you, okay? They're going to move faster than you think. So maybe you've been doing this for a month. Maybe you've been doing it for 3 months. But what I'm seeing here is that once it starts picking up, it won't stop, okay? Because what you have to give to the world is significant. It's more important. All right. Also, there's something about family here. I think all piles had some kind of family theme. Yeah, I see. You're the type of person to speak up for people that don't have a voice. You're the type of person to speak up for those who are vulnerable. You're very protective. You're a very protective person, like a mama bear with its cub, you know? And you see this child, how it's protecting the little lamb. It's not focusing for some reason. I feel that's you. Your words may come out a bit rough, a bit raw, but there's a lot of sweetness to you. You hold a lot of love. You hold space for love, and you hold space for people to be who they are. So don't discourage if things are not moving as fast as you want, because they're gonna. The time is coming. And once it takes off, it'll really, really take off. Okay? So, yeah, let's read from the book and see what comes through. Okay? So, in thinking about the song, just, you know, this is finally the time where you do something for yourself, okay? Where you do things your way. Because your way will make you successful. Your way will resonate with many, many people. Your words will resonate with many people. Because you cut through all the bullshit. You go into the core of whatever you're discussing. And this really makes an impact. If it hasn't already, it will. And you should trust that. What you've just started, whether it's today, whether it's a month ago, or however long, is something that's meant to bring you success, a new beginning, something people will want. You will have reach. You will have a wide reach. 27. You may be 27 years old as well. When you choose the symbol of hope, know that no matter what temporary setbacks there may be in your life now, light will return again. Yeah, hope. When the moon is hidden in the darkest forest, it is hard to see your next step, and it is easy to give into the fear that there will never be safety or light again. And I feel that you are protective of others, and you have that, energy because you have not felt safe, okay? I'm here to guide you when you have lost your way, whispering to you to maintain faith that good things will come your way once more. Take one step forward towards your dream. I will take 2 steps towards you to help you achieve it. Have hope, and only good will come of it. Only good will come of it, okay? So trust in what you're doing. I don't feel like you've lost you're lost now, but I feel that for you to have started this endeavor, project, career path, whatever it is for you, you've only done it once you were lost. You lost your way, you find your way, and then now, because of it, you have a story out of it. You have something to give to the world. You have a story to share that's going to really relate to other people, and it's going to have reach, wide reach, far away. Yeah, and don't try to censor yourself. You're perfectly, your words are perfect as they are. You don't have to tweak or censor or edit anything you have to say. The way you are is going to be appreciated by the right people. And those people are not going to just be a few. There's going to be many. Again, take a look at these hands here. How they're trying to reach for that pentacle. Okay? What you have to offer is something that many, many people want. And it's something you have to say, you have to externalize. Maybe something also tied to childhood and family. But really, I think this has to do with the reason you're doing it. Like, you want to come out of a bad situation and be able to help other people. You don't want to come out of a difficult situation broken and unable to trust, love, or help other people get through the same thing as you. So that's why it's going to resonate with so many people, because not only are you going to get through a difficult period, because you're going to survive the difficulties, you're going to be able to help other people. You're going to be able to protect other people by sharing what you know, by sharing your story, by bringing awareness, right? The word is awareness. By bringing awareness to everything you have experienced, you will get the reach in the audience you're hoping for. Honestly, I don't see anything that points to anything else other than what I'm saying. That's who you are. That's who you are, And You have the gift of gab. That's what I mean. There's going to be an expansion in your life. An expansion. I know what you're doing now is very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable, okay? Getting out of your comfort zone, speaking up about things. Maybe things that you wanted to express for many, many years. The way you speak and the way you communicate is unlike anybody out there, any other person out there, you know? There's just something to you that's eccentric, but in a very, very earthy way. Does that make sense? Yeah. Even though you're eccentric, it's also rooted in reality. There's something very potent about you, first of all. And this is just the beginning of a long and beautiful, successful story where not everyone's gonna agree with you, okay? Not everyone's gonna like what you do. Some people may try to, get in your way. Some people may try to stop you, but I see you here unwilling to compromise, just straightforward. It's like, go. No. You're gonna maintain momentum. And if you do, you're gonna thank yourself later, okay? So let me read from the book. Wow, this is a longer one, but I feel you needed to hear this. So let me know if this resonates so far, okay? Let me know in the comments. It's really helpful. I want to know, am I doing a good job here? I don't know, what am I doing here? Let me know. And I would really, really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. You'll find the link below if you're watching on TikTok. Okay. 27. When you choose the symbol of hope. Oh yeah, we read that, sorry. Well, maybe the message here is, you've already done it, baby. You don't need to question yourself anymore. You've already done the hardest part, which is breaking your silence and starting something you feel passionate about, okay? You've already done it. You don't need to do the same things again. Just keep going. Just maintain momentum, and you will have a wonderful new beginning going forward, and you will see that you will have audience, you will have reach. Your words matter. Who you are matters. You are unique. You're an individual that stands out, and that's never a bad thing, okay? So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.